it's Claire back with another art journal video. Today I'm working in my large Dilutions journal. I'm just adding a thin layer of gesso to the page. This is going to be another Christmassy spread today. So I'm starting off with a Tim Holtz typeset collage paper and just sticking it in using some gel matte medium. I wanted the background to be quite neutral, so I first of all used some buff and just added it in a few places, and then I used some rose, which is a Dina Wakley metallic. It's a beautiful colour, you'll see in a second. It's really lovely, and as a bonus it even smells really nice too. I knew that the background was going to be quite busy. No, let me try that again. I knew that the focal point on this page was going to be quite busy, so I wanted the background to be quite neutral. So I'm then using the Dina Wakley circle stencil and the same colours that I've already used in the background, and just adding a little bit of stenciling interest into the colours that I've already put on the page. This is the Mantra stencil. I'm just using the two colours mixed together, a little bit of subtle text. This is the Helix circle and angle maker, and I'm just mapping out where the Christmas wreath is going to go on the page. So I decided that I was going to paint lots of brightly coloured baubles, different sizes, using watercolour. And I'm just using printer paper for this, really. I wasn't particularly bothered about the watercolour paints spreading or bleeding. I really just wanted to get some colour on the paper. So I used the Helix angle and circle maker to map out some different sized circles, and then just painted them in. And I did them in red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple and pink. As you know, I do love rainbow colours, so I wanted this to be really bright. I'd seen one of these Christmas wreaths on someone's doors when I was out walking the dog, and I just thought, oh, I just love it. So bright and colourful and happy. So that was what inspired this page. Don't worry, you're not going to sit through all of the colours, me painting all of these circles, because that would be really tedious. I have edited it down a little bit. So once I'd painted them all in and they were dry, I then had the task of cutting out all these circles. Now, I know there are those of you out there that love a bit of cutting out. I really don't like it. I find it really tedious. But, you know, it had to be done, so I put my big girl pants on and got on with it. I cut them all out, leaving a little white border around the circle. Goodness, it's been a long day. And then decided that I was going to stick them in using some gel medium. Well, a little word to the wise, don't do that, because actually it started to activate the paint again. So I decided I needed to stick them in with a glue stick instead. So I'm just taking 3 of each colour to start off with and just positioning them within the circle that I'd drawn, and just kind of overlapping them a bit. And then once I'd stuck 3 of each colour in, I then went in and finished off with the circles that were left over, trying to make sure that there were no gaps and that the colours, you know, there weren't too many colours that were the same next to each other or too close. I was quite pleased with how it was starting to look. So those of you that have watched my channel regularly know that I have lots of things that I use regularly, and a pit marker pen is one of them. This is such a lovely pen. It's nice to use, and when the ink is still wet, they're really lovely to smudge. So they're great for adding shadows to things. And that's what I'm doing here. I'm just going in and putting the shadow on the same side of every bauble. And then using a white Posca paint pen, I'm just adding like a little catch light on each bauble as well. Then I decided it needed like a bow, a ribbon sort of thing, so I stuck one of those in the middle too. I wasn't particularly bothered about whether it looked realistic or not. It was how it was. It was fine. And then just outlining the ribbon and adding some little bits of shadow to that as well. Next I went in with some evergreen and just did some splatters using a fan brush. And again some silver, some deco art, shimmering silver, using the fan brush as well, and I let some of those to go on the baubles too. And then finally I just found a quote about Christmas and popped it in the corner. I was talking to my daughter about it, like I was really tempted to write something on the wreath, and she was like, no, you mustn't write it on there, it'll spoil it. So I listened to what she said and just popped the quote in the corner. And then I'm adding a little bit of black ink to the edges of the pages, just to kind of frame them a little bit. And there we are, there's the finished brightly coloured Christmas wreath. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching.